Yo, welcome to this quick tutorial to show you how to get this kind of dispersion effect in the air and on these portals here. So basically the kind of concept of the image is our model is a time traveller and he's travelling from the future into the present. So the model used here is neo stock, model stock, and some stock images online for the background. The kind of portal effect here that you can see was a trick I learned from fellow Photoshop artist. I'm probably going to murder his name, but Nemanja Sekulic. So what I did was I used this technique but then added my own little kind of style to it, which I think everyone should usually do if they're going to be using other people's techniques, things like that. Try and add something else to that technique. So let's just go into Photoshop. So here is the image without the dispersion effect on it. So basically this is really quick and easy. So all you need to do is make sure you have a stamp visible layer. So Control, Alt, Shift and E, and that will create a stamp visible layer right here in your layers panel. There. So once you've created that, you want to go to Filter, Filter Gallery, and it always starts with the image zoomed right in for some reason, so let's zoom out of the image, so Control minus. And let's see, so all these filters, I'm not sure what most of them do, there's like some crazy ass filters on this thing, but some of them are okay. The one I use is glass, so let's go into your distort folder and click on glass. As you can see, it's putting the dispersion effect onto all of the image. So there are settings here, but basically I had a play around before I did the effect, and the basic default settings, what it comes as, looked best. So you can play around with them if you want, but I didn't. Well, I did, but then I reverted back to the default settings. So press OK, and that will have the dispersion effect on all of the image. But because we don't want that, all we need to do is go and create a layer mask and then press Control I, and that will invert the layer mask and hide the filter we have just applied to the image. So all we need to do now is just paint the effect in where we want it. So if you press B, and then you want the flow of around, let's say we want it to be strong, so let's say 82%, and make sure your brush is set to white, and then we can just start painting in the effect onto the image. So we want it on the rings, on the portal, so kind of around here where the air is being distorted by the electric, or whatever you want to make up in your own head. And then we want to start doing the inside. So what I didn't actually paint it over all of the guy, just kind of around here, because this is where part of his body would still be on the other side of the portal, and then on the bits what are kind of out of the portal, you don't want the dispersion effect on it, so you can have it maybe a little bit around his hair, around the coat here, and then here you want to make sure it's inside a little bit, and then we don't want it on this piece of coat here though, because this coat is out of the portal. So let's switch back and just kind of paint it in here. And around. So now if we go to here and click off, that's without, that's with, just kind of adds a nice little finishing touch as kind of some kind of electromagnetic field. And I mean, you can use this technique actually for loads of different stuff. It is very, well, in fact it's pretty much the same technique that I used on my fire haze and gun haze tutorial from a few years back. So it's always good to try and take these little techniques and then see how you can apply them in different ways on different images. So like I said, very quick tip. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your feedback. Please subscribe, press like, leave a comment, and I try and get back to everyone as soon as I can. So I hope you all had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year, and peace!